Shri Gurucharitra, Chapter 29. Shri Gurudeva Datta Parabrahmane Namaha. Vamadeva and Brahmin Ghost. Importance of application of sacred ash. Siddha Yogi continued with the narration of unsurpassed glory of Shri Guruji to Namadharaka. Trivikram Bharati questioned Shri Guruji thus: O Guruji, how that low caste person happened to become an enlightened man? How could he recollect his past births? Then Guruji answered him this way: Hey sage Trivikram Bharati, when the sacred ash which was on the body of that outcast man was washed away, he was back to his deluded state again. The significance of sacred ash is beyond words and anybody's guess. The one who smears sacred ash on his body becomes an enlightened soul. To confirm what I have said, I am going to narrate to you a past incident. In Krita era, there was a great yogi who had earned a name of being a preceptor of the world. He was known by name Vamadeva. Really speaking, he was a form of Lord Ishvara. He was a perfect, purified, and enlightened yogi who had abandoned everything in the world. He was traveling throughout the earth and observing strict silence for the benefaction of devotees. He had conquered 6 internal enemies and was very engrossed in supreme bliss. He used to smear sacred ash on all parts of his body and move alone throughout the country by disowning everything. Once he entered a thick, uninhabited forest named Kroncha. In that forest there lived a man-animal eater, Brahmin ghost, since long time. He suffered from hunger, physical pain, and misfortune. As soon as Vamdeva entered that forest area, the Brahmin ghost, who was afflicted by excessive hunger, came towards Vamdeva in a great haste with an intention to swallow him. He caught hold of Vamadeva and embraced him. In that process, the Brahmin ghost came in contact with the sacred ash which was on the body of that yogi. The moment that ghost embraced Vamdeva, his sins of the past birth were instantly absolved and he turned out to be purified and enlightened man. His ghostly form disappeared by a mere touch of sacred ash. Sri Guruji continued, Hey sage Trivikram, earlier that Brahmin ghost had a terrifying behavior. Despite consuming several wild animals, he was not in a position to quell his hunger. Even if he were to drink ocean full of water, he could not quench his thirst. When the wicked, great sinner Brahmin ghost had a touch of sage Vamdeva's body, his hunger and thirst disappeared at once. He got released from his ghosthood and became a great enlightened person. Immediately he touched the feet of sage Vamadeva and saluted him with a devoted and passionate mind. He begged before the sage in this manner: O the great preceptor, just by meeting you, my sins of previous life's actions have been washed away. Kindly elevate me from this so called ocean of worldly life in which I am getting lost. Be generous to save me and promote my welfare. I want to seek refuge under your feet. Then the compassionate Vamdeva's heart melted. He questioned him thus: O Brahmin ghost, who are you? Which race and place do you belong to? What are your past life's actions? Why do you dwell here in this dreadful forest and trouble the passerby? Then that Brahmin ghost replied thus: Hey master, just by the touch of your body, I am reminded of my previous births. In my first birth, I was king of Yavan province by name Durjay. That time I annihilated many citizens and hurt several others. I committed several sinful deeds, got married to several women and enjoyed with many women. I also had pleasure from others' women. Besides, I enjoyed with several unmarried and chaste women, widowed women, menstruating women by being an insolent person. Being unsatisfied forever, I was sunk in a pond of sensual pleasure. I was in the habit of consuming excessive liquor and become intoxicant. In due course of time, I was attacked by the disease tuberculosis. Seizing the opportunity, the enemy king invaded my kingdom and took over the reins. After some time, I met my grave. After my death, the sins of my life pushed me to hell, the world of death god Yama. In all, 10 times I suffered pains in the hell along with my ancestors. In my next life, I attained ghosthood. Once again, I was sent back to Lord Yama's world. My next births were in the following sequence: that of a wild tiger, python, dog, stupid jackal, eagle, mongoose, crow, bear, wild cock, donkey, cat, frog, turtle, fish, rat, deaf owl, and violent elephant. Thus, I took births 24 times in different species as stated above. Thereafter, in my present birth, that is 25th, I am born as a Brahmin ghost and now moving around this dense forest. My God's grace and due to my good fortune, I met you today. The moment I had a touch of your body, I have become an enlightened man by your grace. Such is your charisma. Really, your glory is far reaching and infinite. By your grace, now I am freed from hardship and sins. My benefaction has been promoted. Then he prayed to the sage to liberate him from this horrible ocean of mundane world. Sage Vamdeva then told him thus: Hey the Brahmin ghost, the sacred ash which is on my body is the main cause for sudden transformation in you. The moment your body came in contact with this sacred ash, you could acquire the faculty of recollecting your past several births. None of the gods other than Lord Shankara, including Lord Brahma, are aware of the significance of sacred ash. Now I am going to give an account of an incomprehensible incident that I have witnessed in the past, which unequivocally declares the glory of sacred ash. In the past, there was a debauchee, defiled Brahmin in Dravid nation who had no concern for religion and righteousness. His own people and the society boycotted him. Subsequently, he got married to a degraded woman. He depended on the occupation of robbery for his living. Once during night time, when he left for robbery, a low caste man noticed his movements. Suspecting him to be a thief, he slayed the Brahmin and threw his body in a dirty place outside the city, which was not frequented by people. Then a stray dog, which was resting on a heap of ash in a nearby place, sensing the smell of that body, reached there. It tore the dead body and started consuming it. The ash which was sticken to the dog's body touched the chest and forehead portion of that dead body. Meanwhile, the attendants of death god Yama arrived on the scene and dragged the body towards the province of Yama. The attendants of Lord Shiva, who noticed the ash on the dead body which deserved to be taken to Shivaloka, came down to earth to slash the attendants of Yama in order to carry the body to their world. Seeing that the attendants of Yama fled the scene and ran away to their world, Yamapuri. There the attendants narrated the facts of the event and told Yama that in future they would never visit the earth as they had to face the wrath of attendants of Lord Shiva. Thus they conveyed their anguish to King Yama. King Yama got terribly excited with anger after listening to their plight and immediately rushed to Kailash and questioned the attendants of Lord Shiva the reason for beating his attendants. There he told them that considering his ill deeds he deserved to be sent to Yamaloka and not Shivapura. Then the attendant of Shiva said, O the king Yamadharma, this body had the mark of sacred ash on all its parts of which Lord Shiva is fond of. Then what is the reason behind carrying this body to your world? That fortunate person who smears sacred ash daily is qualified to earn a place in Kailash. The ash bhasma has in it the power to exterminate the sins committed in the previous births. Therefore, your attendants are not justified in taking this person to your world when he is qualified for heaven. Tell your attendants not to carry those people who smear sacred ash on their body. King Yama realized the truth. Then he intimated his attendants that all those who smear sacred ash should not be carried to their world, though they happen to be great sinners. This is the instruction of Lord Shiva. He told his attendants thus. Vamadeva then told the Brahmin ghost thus. Hey Brahmin ghost, the sacred ash which is dear to Lord Shiva has tremendous glory. One can easily earn the grace and love of Lord Shiva by smearing sacred ash on the body. But only a very few persons are blessed with that fortune. The Brahmin was happy to learn about the glory of sacred ash. Then that Brahmin ghost said thus, Hey, the light of the world, Vamadeva, in my previous birth, while I was a king, I made arrangements for the construction of several ponds for supplying drinking water to the society, animals, birds, and other creatures. For promoting the welfare of Brahmins, I arranged for their occupation and shelter. These are only a few insignificant meritorious deeds I had undertaken in my past life. I have already narrated to you the multiple misdeeds that I committed earlier. Due to the gains of the pious deeds which I performed in my earlier birth, I have now been able to see you in my 25th birth. By your grace today, I have been purified. Be kind enough to explain to me the glory of Tripundra, a secretorian mark consisting of 3 lines on different parts of the body by the devotees, ash, and the manner in which it is to be smeared on the body through Vedic verses. Saying thus, the Brahmin ghost prayed to Vamadeva with folded hands. Sage Vamadeva was pleased by his prayer and explained to him the ordained way of application of ash, its glory, preparation, and the related matters in detail. Then the sage, speaking to that Brahmin ghost, said, O Brahmin ghost, know it well that smearing sacred ash on the body is a classic religious obligation to be pursued. You have become enlightened by the touch of sacred ash of my body. Today, you have experienced divine vision and gave him the consecrated ash for application on the body. The fortunate one, that Brahmin ghost, applied the ash instantly on the body in Tripundra way. Within no time, he was possessed with brilliant celestial body. He saluted and moved around the sage Vamadeva blissfully and devotedly. By that time, a heavenly aeroplane which had the brilliance equivalent to that of sun god landed there. The fraternity of gods took him to heaven in that celestial plane. The glory of sacred ash is boundless and has a special significance if it is procured from Guru. By the grace of Guru, that Brahmin ghost attained salvation and got elevated to higher status. Here ends the 29th chapter in the most auspicious Shri Gurucharitra. Shri Gurudev Datta. Shri Guru Dattatreya Arpanamastu.